everyone, my name is Lyss Morton and I wanted to take you behind the scenes of Dubsado. I've tried pretty much all the CRMs out there because I'm somebody that's like, but is this one better? And I'm still undecided, honestly. But I wanted to take you through Dubsado because I wanted you to be able to make a decision for yourself if this might be a better fit for your business. So this is the home screen of Dubsado. Actually, the dashboard is. This is the home screen of Dubsado. I had created a trial account for my Jersey Strike company, so I wanted to show you the behind the scenes of this one because there's no detail information for any clients that you'll see. So in here you have a brief overview. It tells you your financial goals. You can input them in here. Any open invoices, your revenue. You're also able to visually see right in one look. If you have any open invoices or contracts that need your signatures, any workflow actions that are pending your approval, and you can read any updates in here. And then it also gives you an overview of your calendar, financials, and any to-do tasks that you have to do right away. So I usually live in the projects feature. I've been trying it out with Garden in the Pines, and I do like Dubsado also. Honeybook I find is more intuitive and easier to use right away, but I think Dubsado has more capabilities. So in the leads, you can have a contact form over here in your template set up. They give you some samples, but your contact form could let you know of everything that you want them to fill out. And when they do, they'll appear in your leads over here on projects. So it'll pop right up, and you'll have basically this dashboard for your client, and this is where their portal will be basically. So you're able to attach a contract in here from your templates. You can tag them with whenever you want. I like to keep track of my events by the year, so it's easy for me to just move them based on the year. And then you can input their client information and details about their event or whatever service you're providing for them. Over here in the invoice, I do like that this is really easy to update. You can add an invoice, and then even after they sign your contract, you can go back and update the invoice if need be, and just send them an email of the updated invoice. So I like that it's really easy to adjust in the system automatically and that there's no issues with that. You also have the capabilities to make any refunds, track your expenses, and get as detailed as you want in the invoice. So I've been learning that Dubsado actually has a lot of forms in the feature. So if you go over here to forms, or even packages, you can create basically a contract for anything that you want, which is pretty cool. So as a designer, a floral designer, usually I like to send out a final detail confirmation. So I'm able to do that with the sub-agreement over here. And basically it's a design proof. So they're able to confirm, I can upload photos in here to make it look branded. They're able to okay the photos. They're able to make any comments. You can adjust it as needed for your business and customize it as you want. But it's really neat that you can do that, and I think it's actually easier than Honeybook's Smart File feature to add stuff in this. The Smart Files are really new on Honeybook, so they have some glitches, but they're both really cool features. So if you look around in the forms, you can create your proposal, you can update your proposals, you can make them customized for each client. Questionnaires, if you had an intake questionnaire or something after they've already booked with you. You can create go-to packages, which I really like for our preservation. We use it because they're able to click. I can show you actually. gardeninthepines.com. If you go to preservation and they wanted to reserve their date, it brings them right to their Dubsado, and I created it to be pretty branded for my business. But they're able to select all the pieces that they want to add to their order, any additional add-ons, and it brings them right to the contract and invoice after they submit the proposal. So that's a really cool feature on Dubsado, one of my favorites. So that's what the forms look like and the invoices and everything. So over here in packages, you can make your own packages. This is what I did for the preservation page on my website. In that Dubsado, I made a preservation package that includes all the different things, and they can select different ones that they want to add. The workflows is probably the coolest thing about Dubsado. Honeybook also has one, but I find that Dubsado has more automations. So what that means is that they have more capabilities to say, after somebody submits this form, send this, and then forward into this workflow if they choose this. So it's like there's more capabilities, and the options are, I'd say, more expansive. You can trigger it based on a payment plan, you can trigger it for anything really. And you can make as many workflows as you want. So here's an example of like adding an action. You can change the product status, add a tag, send emails, create forms, to-do lists, send a contract or a primary invoice, activate the portal, create an invoice, send appointment schedulers, start a workflow, or archive the project. So I find with Honeybook, at least at this stage, it doesn't have as many capabilities. It's pretty much just send a form or an email. You'd have to physically go into the system and move the workflow from onboarding to offboarding if that's something that was important to you and your business, or just make it all in the same workflow. I like to have things a little bit more organized than that, so that's why I like to separate them, but do what works well for you guys. And then the payment plans is pretty neat. You can create your own payment plans based on popular installment features or whatever works well for your business. You could do 50/50s, pay in fulls. I do a fixed deposit for our preservations for $150, and then the rest due at a certain date before their event. A lot of pretty cool capabilities in here. I also like, just from like an aesthetic point, that you're able to make it really branded. And likewise in the emails, you're able to make the emails pretty branded. So like when you're sending an email to your client, I'm somebody that likes to use buttons. Like I think that they just look nicer than including like a link. Honeybook doesn't have the buttons. They have it for their forms when you send a form of theirs, but they don't have like you can add a button and link it to like your client guide or something. Like they want everything to be in the system. So I think it's cool that you can have a PDF that you make and link it with a button in Dubsado in their emails. So Dubsado is pretty neat. I thought it was kind of difficult to learn at first, but maybe it's easier for you. I do think that Dubsado has more capabilities, but I think Honeybook is easier to use, especially in the get-go when you have no really technological experience and you're trying to get everything set up. So my advice to you is if you're going through like a rebrand or something, I would go through the rebrand first and then implement one of the two, because you don't want to go back and update all of your branding after it's already set up. That's something I did after our rebrand with Garden in the Pines. But I think that's pretty much everything in here, at least that I can think of and that I've learned from it. Yeah, I think so. There's a lot to it, and I think that I'm learning more ways to use Dubsado every day. I think that it can be easier once it's all set up, but Honeybook is more quickly able to learn. It looks easier. Like this one looks complicated, but decide for your business what works well for you. I know that this is a really popular platform. Something else that's the difference between the two is Dubsado integrates with Stripe, where Honeybook is its own payment processor. So that can be an upside or a downside depending on who you use and why, what works well for you. And Dubsado is known for having legal contracts, which is really important for business owners. Hope that this was really helpful for you guys, and if it was, leave a comment, let me know. If you decided on one of the two platforms, I'd love to hear which one you chose and why, and we will talk to you soon.